tangent!
How do you feel about licorice?
Oh, man. I mean, here's the thing is that I know there's a whole thing out there. Like, licorice, I get it. All right. Licorice is supposed to taste like licorice and look like licorice. But then there came this red licorice that came out there. Listen, my grandmother would say, absolutely not to red licorice. If she saw red licorice in a store just walking around, she'd be like, what kind of store is this? You guys are there's no segregation here. That black licorice and red licorice are like together? Absolutely not. Ridiculous. But now that red licorice has come more into place, like I grew up seeing red licorice everywhere. It's not a problem with me. As a matter of fact, black licorice is a little bit harder to come by now than red licorice is. Children may not even know this, but licorice is supposed to taste like licorice, not like cherry or strawberry. That's such an odd, thing is that licorice.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that while you were talking. It occurred to me, like, true natural licorice is obviously based on the licorice root, which is that black licorice, the black jelly bean flavor.
Isn't that the same thing that they use for root beer over time? Sarsaparilla or something along that line?
It's a mix of stuff, but licorice definitely is part of the recipe. Where did red licorice even come from? Because that seems to be like the dominant go-to. When you think of licorice, you think of red licorice. I have no idea what its source materials are made from, because licorice is black licorice. Like I'm going to have to do some research on that.
I think a bunch of red licorice actually came over in the 1800s.
No.
and at that time, red licorice was, it was sort of the working class licorice, and it wasn't very affluent as far as licorice goes.
But here's the thing: they brought licorice viruses with them.
Yeah,
and those viruses, the black licorice community had not been exposed to those viruses as of yet, and it just wiped through them. I guess that could be the case as to why red licorice holds dominance in the licorice community nowadays.
Yeah, and ever since getting sort of involved in the communities in America, red licorice is just far more prevalent now. It's actually a majority licorice, which is sort of weird seeing as how this country was not founded on that, It's sort of a strange thing to see. I believe that, that we were founded on diversity of candies, and we could have any type of candy that we want, and all candy is welcome here.
Whether you're chocolate or carob, you're welcome in our candy store, because all comers are welcome in the chocolate section. Whether you're white chocolate or dark chocolate or carob, you're all... I wonder what the chocolate community thinks of carob bunnies. Like when you see a carob bunny on the same shelf, and you're like, listen, I don't mean to sound like an isty or whatever, but this is the chocolate shelf, and I get what you're doing, but that's not chocolate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, we are proud to bring you a rerun sketch from a previous season of Random Bush. Enjoy.
Thanks for picking me up. I must have been walking all day, and it's starting to get pretty cold out there.
Don't even worry about that. I've been on the road myself all day. I appreciate the company.
Well, thank you for picking me up.
How far are you going?
I'm headed to California.
Afraid I'm not headed that far, but I can get you as far as Scottsdale.
Anything in the western direction is A-okay with me.
So hitchhiking out here must be a real challenge. I mean, a lot of weirdos out there,
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry, child. Didn't mean to freak you out. I didn't mean nothing by it. I don't know. Sorry I even brought it up.
Sure, I get it.
It's just, you never know. I mean, that's why I picked you up. I'm driving alone and I see this little child on the side of the road. And I can't help to think to myself about what awful stuff can happen. Just terrible. So I told myself, I'm going to get that child. Save her. for all of the weirdos.
Well, again, I really appreciate the ride.
I'm just saying, you gotta be careful nowadays, right? You never really know a person, you know?
I guess. Whoa! What is that smell? Did you?
What? I don't smell anything.
How can you not smell that? Let me open the window. Are you serious right now?
I don't smell anything.
Come on, man. Let me open the window. Oh my god. It smells so bad.
What? I don't smell anything.
This just in, reports are telling us the SBD killer has struck once again. This and other headlines in your local area at 11. That sketch you just heard is part of the Random Bush Show. To hear more great comedy content, search The Random Bush, a stand-up sketch conversation comedy podcast.
Wild Tangent!